Hello, and welcome to Serenity Vape. This time we're trying to deal with a lot of information, and we thought this PowerPoint would be easier for everyone involved to understand. We're going to talk about CBD and why some companies have gotten into trouble with the Food and Drug and Federal Trade Commissions. First, I'll give you a bit of a look at what the FTC is doing about companies who make questionable or unproven health claims about their products. In the past, companies have made claims that they simply don't have the right kind of evidence for, and many have been inconsistent with their labeling and manufacturing practices so that consumers aren't always getting what they pay for. Second, we'll take a quick look at what we do know before moving on to why claiming CBD can treat or help with anxiety shouldn't really be a big deal. The US FTC and FDA are going after CBD and hemp companies not only because many fail to show evidence of their claims to customers, but they may misrepresent what they're selling. Bionitral Health, for example, claims CBD can treat pain better than OxyContin and prevents and treats age-related cognitive decline and chronic pain. And when customers ordered a single bottle of CBD oil, the company changed the order to 5 bottles. While CBD is non-addictive and has significantly less dangerous side effects, we don't have proof of any of these other claims, not yet. However, there is promising evidence for its potential to help treat pain, anxiety, neurological illnesses, etc. But no research that I have read has said anything about CBD curing any illness, with one exception. CBD can be used to treat 3 serious forms of epilepsy: Dravet syndrome, Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, and tuberous sclerosis complex. The FDA has approved Epidiolex and no other drug for this purpose. We cannot say with certainty that CBD will treat anxiety, prevent cancer, prevent dementia, or treat addiction. However, there is plenty of research, typically studies on animals and small trials with humans, about CBD's effects on the endocannabinoid system and the potential to treat conditions like chronic pain, mental illness, that it has anti-cancer properties, and the ability to disrupt memory related to addiction. It's just that nothing is definitively proven yet, and it appears that CBD and other cannabinoids work best alongside regular treatment options. The companies Bionitral, Epic House, CBD Meds, HempMe CBD, Reef Industries, and Steve's Distributing were smacked by the FDA last December for a variety of reasons, but it all boils down to them claiming CBD can treat things that it hasn't yet been proven to. They were all required to notify consumers that they were fined and must cease making claims until they can present reliable evidence. Their evidence needs to be readily available to consumers, and the FTC wants them to use human studies, especially large randomized control trials. This would be quite expensive for those companies to do independently. This is a problem I've personally noticed before when looking at different CBD companies. They seem to be relying on customers having a general understanding of CBD and hemp products. And customers may assume that because a company looks fresh or sounds professional or say their product is natural, that the company is telling the truth. Claims may be made in good faith, but without any evidence for the customer to look at, they're effectively hoping they aren't buying snake oil. And if companies do not reveal their certificates of analysis for their products, customers can't be certain their purchases don't come with contaminants like pesticide or little bits of fertilizer mixed in. Thus, the U.S. Federal Trade Commission says they're cracking down on CBD companies. As of right now, there isn't enough evidence to claim that CBD can treat pain better than prescription painkillers, treat autoimmune disorders, or replace psychiatric medications. Its advantage over many prescription meds is that CBD is not considered addictive and it has fewer side effects, usually less severe and rare. A lot of the claims about CBD are based on its ability to work with the body's endocannabinoid system, found throughout the body and connected to the nervous system and most organs. If something can help your endocannabinoid system do its job, the rest of your body would reap the benefits, theoretically. This makes it worthwhile to research it and the ECS to find new Alzheimer's and Parkinson's treatments, as well as ways to treat quite a few other illnesses. There just aren't enough of the large, randomized control trials with long-term observation to satisfy the FTC and FDA. What is commonly accepted is that CBD is neither intoxicating nor addictive. It has not been shown to cause tumors or cancer. It has the potential to protect nerves, reduce inflammation, and it reduces anxiety in certain situations. As with all dietary supplements, although CBD is not yet even recognized as such in the United States, a company cannot claim their products can diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent an illness without plenty of research backing them up. This may be fair, and it is true that CBD doesn't work for everyone. The FDA has a series of high hoops for companies to jump through before they can claim their product can do so much as even improve a condition. Small companies like CBD sellers do not always have the financial backing to jump through these hoops. The makers of Epidiolex managed to do it, and because they have a patent on their CBD-based drug, it will be some time, most likely, before hemp companies get to emphatically state anything about their products. However, we at least know CBD works on epilepsy, although again, only Epidiolex has been approved for that by the FDA. There is, of course, evidence from studies on animals and humans that could be used to support the claims companies have made about CBD, but not to say with certainty that CBD can cure anything. And unless a company like Greenwich Biosciences, the makers of Epidiolex, can prove their claims to the FDA and FTC, the FTC will go after them and issue fines. What's definitely worth holding on to when researching CBD is that study after study seem to show CBD improves anxiety. I'll take you through the conclusions of several small studies and reviews of studies on CBD as a treatment for anxiety. In the future, we'll cover potential uses for CBD and other cannabinoids in treating a wide variety of physical and mental illnesses. I start here with a case report from the British Medical Journal. The 20-year-old man the authors studied experienced subjective benefits to anxiety, depression, and positive symptoms during treatment that were confirmed by clinicians and by standardized research instruments. For this young man, adding CBD to his health regimen improved his health where prescription medication and therapy alone could not. Because he experienced no adverse effects, over 8 weeks they were able to increase his dose to a total of 800 milligrams a day. He felt he was generally calmer and that it was easier to control his anxiety. His psychotic symptoms also diminished and eventually went into remission. It's not that CBD alone improved his condition that we should take away from this, but that it worked in combination with other therapies. The study's authors considered further research, quote, urgently warranted. Garcia Gutierrez and her colleagues reviewed previous studies on CBD and concluded that CBD should be studied as a treatment option not only for anxiety, but they believe it may help with depression, cognition, and that it may improve motor function. They reviewed study after study on both humans and animals, and in nearly every study, CBD reduced anxiety. The review not only looked at studies on anxiety, but depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and schizophrenia, and concluded that large-scale studies should be done. In other words, the authors believed CBD could be a good treatment option for a variety of ailments. A paper by Masataka Nobuo is perhaps one of the most interesting that I've read. In this double-blind study, subjects were given 300 milligrams of CBD and regularly visited by mental health professionals. The dose of 300 milligrams has been used in multiple studies by Antonio Zuardi, who has researched CBD for over 20 years. The CBD group not only experienced reductions in their anxiety, but half of them continued seeking treatment after the initial study. No one in the placebo group did. This suggests that CBD not only helps manage anxiety, but it had enough of an effect to give participants the motivation to take a more active role in their personal health. Sometimes our bodies need a boost or even a kickstart, and it may be that CBD can do enough to give people hope. Jessica Skelly and their colleagues reviewed previous studies and determined that CBD's anti-anxiety effects aren't just attributable to the placebo effect. The results are just too consistent. The fact that at this point any company could be sued for claiming their CBD products can ease anxiety is surprising to me. It may be that the 300 milligram dose is not guaranteed to work on everyone, but multiple reviews and studies have also found that the beneficial effects of CBD aren't limited to the day you take it, but can continue for up to a week after your last dose. For now, it's highly probable that CBD can treat anxiety, but it could be a long time before we see the US government recognize that. There's so much potential benefit in cannabis therapy, however, that I've no hesitation suggesting that a customer try it and find the right dose for them. The dose that seems to have had the most consistent results across studies was 300 milligrams. And CBD rarely seems to have negative side effects, although the biggest is that it can cause drowsiness. Because the endocannabinoid system is so widespread in the body, there's hope that it can lead us to new treatments for dozens of ailments. We'll continue our own research on hemp and its potential uses, so keep stopping by for more information. Thank you for stopping by. I hope to see you next time. Stay safe and vape on.